I'm up early at 7 o'clock in the morning, so let me tell y'all. So this story time is gonna be about the time that I started working security downtown Houston for the Marriott Hotel. And this guy, not even 2 weeks of me working there, this guy would come by. He worked valet, but he worked in another building. But we had a parking garage in our building, so this guy would come by, and sometimes he would look at me or he'll wink at me, or sometimes he would be on the phone with his girlfriend, but he would never say anything to me. So then about a week later, another guy came by as if he was looking for something. And this one started like just blatantly smiling at me, like he would wink at me. He would laugh like if I would drop something, or he was just making his presence known. And I never saw him before until that day. And I could just tell he came there. He came there for me. At first I couldn't tell, but after a while I could tell. And so this guy was super, super attractive. The other guy was attractive, but this guy was even more attractive. And I could tell they were friends because, or at least coworkers at the least, because they wore the same shirt. And so this guy, he started flirting with me on a regular. He was super attractive. Like, he honestly reminds me of Taylor Lautner, like Jacob from Twilight. Like, he give those type of like Shark Boy, Lava Girl type of vibes. So this one just starts flirting with me hella. And I would flirt with him too. And then we kind of just became like work baes after about a month, right? Like, he would go get me little snacks and shit. And then it graduated to him coming to see me every day. Mind you, he didn't work in that building. So he would come see me every day. We would talk about like our past relationships, past trauma, our family, our pain. We would talk about every fucking thing. Mind you, this boy would come to my desk every single day. So he was coming to a whole nother building, a couple buildings down from where he worked, to come see me and chat with me and everything like that. So he was a Hispanic boy. So when I first was seeing him and everything, I'm just like, boy, please, you know how you be with a nigga, like, please, you know. And also, I was talking to this guy that I knew from my hometown, trying to work things out with him. And well, before I start back talking to the guy from my hometown, me and him was flirting heavy. Like, I swear to God, this was before I started talking to the guy. Me and him was flirting heavy. Like, we would just talk. It's like we would just talk for hours, to the point where my boss would tell me, like, stay on task, don't get distracted. He would tell me, like, he didn't want the boy behind my desk or whatever. So one day, after us, like, flirting heavy and, like, all the what-if situations and just telling us about our past, he told me about his ex that ended up having sex with his friend. And one day he came in and told me that his ex texted him, and he was so happy. He literally skipped to me to tell me that his ex texted him and that they were basically getting back on good terms. So that low-key hurt my feelings, because we've been flirting for the past, like, what, month, 2 months or whatever. We've been flirting. He had my phone number. Like, we would smoke together sometimes. He just used to, like, overly blow up my social medias. Like, I just remember taking my braids out, taking my weave out, and him just being like, oh my God, I love your real hair. I like your real hair better. Like, just always hyping me up when I would get my hair done. He would be the first person to, like, he would be the first person to, like, watch my story, interact, like my pictures. Like, he would spam my pictures to the point where he would always tell me, like, you need to like my pictures back. So at first I was kind of playing hard to get. I'm like, I don't have to like all your pictures because you liked all my pictures. But eventually I started liking his pictures. You know, we was doing that one thing. Like, to the point where he would call me because he knew I would be with my little dude or whatever. But this before, I'm speaking too fast. Basically, he came in running, telling me he was with his ex, and he was so happy she texted him after flirting with me and all of that like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm okay, cool. So then, literally, I started back talking to my ex. So then, the one that I knew from my hometown. And so then, hold on. Don't judge me, y'all. This is how I do my shit. But yeah, so once he figured out, I started back talking to my ex. His ex, like him and his ex were talking, but he told me like basically she on the same old bullshit. She got a new man. She trying to have me, but yeah. So he was overly excited, but she was on the same bullshit. So I let him know that I have a boyfriend. When I told him I have a boyfriend, his mouth dropped. And so he told the other dude, the older coworker that basically kind of put us on, the one that I would see at first. And then the other coworker was trying to make it seem like I was wrong, like, oh, you got a boyfriend on him. Don't be asking him to get you like snacks and stuff. You got a boyfriend. You know how niggas do. Like, it's a joke, but he low key like, nah, you wrong. And I'm like, no, he back with his ex. Like, tell him what the fuck you did to me. Like, the fuck. Okay, so long story short, I'm making the introduction so long. But yeah, so that's how we started fucking with each other. And that led to us smoking together all the time. He would hang out with me and my friends sometimes. Just smoking together, eating together, like sharing history still. He had told me that he stopped talking to his ex, but we were in the rear part where we were back like kind of friends, but we were still flirting with each other. But after I told him about me having a boyfriend, it was evident that he cared about me or had feelings because he showed that he was jealous. And so basically we started talking. He told me he wasn't talking to his ex anymore. We started talking for real. I went through some shit. He was there for me. He just ended up being the person to always be there for me. Like we would smoke together, eat together. Like that was my boo. Like he made sure I spoke to his mom. Like he told me on plenty of occasions about me wanted to make sure that I formally spoke to his mother. I would spend a night with him. He came over to my house. Like anytime I needed help, he would be there. That was my bookie. So then it transformed from him being my bookie to him being my nigga because I gave his ass an ultimatum. Because after about, I want to say like 10 months, I'm like, boo, like, because when he would get mad, he would do what regular niggas do and be like, well, we not technically together. So I was just like, I left him alone and I stopped talking to him. And I'm just like, I really went down a list of like, we've been together this long. Well, you trying to like, when it's convenient for you, you want to say we're not together. Like, I'm not worth that. Like, I shouldn't have to have a motherfucker play on my feelings. You know how that shit go. I stopped talking to his ass for a couple weeks, almost a month. He came back, texted me on another fucking, on a random number, texted me with his messages green, basically pleaded his case. Oh, baby, you right. When you was gone, I thought about it like, oh my God, I used to look up at the stars and listen to music with this girl. Like, da-da-da-da, like he want to fix it. He not playing this time. He missed me. Girl, please. So we was back on good terms for about 3 months. Long story short, this is basically why I don't want to date outside my race anymore. I feel like this guy loved me, cared about me, like everything was perfect, but I feel like he, in the beginning, he used to always say he wanted a black girlfriend, he wanted a black girlfriend. He used to be just fawning over me. But then when, like, we got into the thick of things, it's like I'll never forget he did an impression of me, and I would never think that he'd think this way of me because he Mexican, but he act like he black for real. So when he did the impression, he was like, "Where my phone? Where my phone?" He was like just doing a ratchet bitch impression, and I'm not even the ratchetest bitch. Like I promise you, I'm not. So it's just like I was like, okay, cool. But I already was thinking like you don't really wanna take it serious because you don't really like black women. You done got attached, you done got this little poonan, and you don't want it to go nowhere. You done got attached, but you like damn near ashamed that you like black women. Because he end up like just basically, we end up falling off like after he came back and begged for me to be back, and he got him a little Mexican bitch. Like we stopped talking, not even a month later, he in a whole relationship giving this bitch everything that he made me fight and scream for. But he used to be ready to fight me over swimsuits, over what I wore, like me going out. Like I remember I didn't have my car for like 2 weeks when I got my car and I was going out again. He was so fucking mad. That's why I can't do no Mexicans, because y'all are crazy. But you're not gonna fetishize me and get a next bitch. What the fuck I been begging for, bitch? Please.